In this video, I'm going to show you the 7B skills that we learned together, which all comes from the Sohcahtoa phrase that we had learned together, and kind of how you can use that for triangles. Now, in these types of triangles, you're going to be given all three sides. So in the Pythagorean theorem problems, you were given two sides of the triangle, and then you're looking for the third. This one is going to deal more with the angles of the triangle. So these little wedges that are kind of in between the sides, right? Using Sohcahtoa, we can find the three major trig functions, which are sine, cosine, and tangent, written as sin, cos, and tan. Okay, so the magic word is Sohcahtoa, and I'm going to color code this in a way that you will hopefully see come to fruition in just a moment. Again, I'm a big advocate of color coordination. I think it really helps things visually make sense, especially when it jumps off my page like that. So maybe you're noticing that the four colors I'm using are black, red, green, and blue. Okay, so we want to find the sine of angle A, the cosine of angle A, and the tangent of angle A. Angle A is the common thread there. So let's identify angle A. It's this little like wedge corner right here. I'm going to kind of make it look like a pizza slice. I'm going to mark it in orange. And now I need to label all three sides of the triangle. There are three different sides, and there are specifically three names for them. The first side you want to identify is what's called the opposite side. It's the side that's directly across from it. If I draw an arrow out from the angle that I drew, it's the side that it would eventually hit. In this example, the opposite side is this side that's length 3. So this side is the opposite side, which I'll abbreviate with OPP for opposite. The next side, similar to what we did with Pythagorean theorem, is the hypotenuse. It's the side that's across from the right angle, and it's also the biggest side. So maybe if you're not a visual person and you like to just look at the numbers, 3, 4, and 5 is the side lengths, you know that 5 is the longest of those. It's the biggest number. So this side is the hypotenuse, which I'll abbreviate with HYP. And then by deduction, there's only one side left. It's this side right here, which is the adjacent side. Adjacent means next to. So the side that's next to the angle. The hypotenuse is also next to the angle, but it's a little bit more special. Okay, so how does Sohcahtoa help us find sine, cosine, and tangent? Well, these ratios, meaning fractions, are the same for every triangle. Sine is always the opposite, which starts with O, over the hypotenuse, which starts with H. You'll see the SOH as the SOH in Sohcahtoa. Cosine is always the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which again, if you look at Sohcahtoa, C for cosine, A for adjacent, A for adjacent, H for hypotenuse, and then tangent is the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So again, Toa in Sohcahtoa, TOA. It's just how you memorize these rules here, because these are rules. They're not things for you to discover, they're things for you to follow. So in this example, the opposite side is 3, and the hypotenuse is 5. So I know that the sine of angle A is 3 over 5. The cosine of angle A is the adjacent side, which is 4, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 4 over 5. So that is the cosine of angle A. That leaves us with the tangent, which is the opposite, which is length 3, and then over the adjacent divided by the adjacent side, which is 4. So there are our three distinct trig ratios. 3/5, 4/5, and 3/4 are the sine, cosine, and tangent, respectively, of this triangle. So that is the most important skill of 7B, using the mnemonic device Sohcahtoa to help you remember the sine, cosine, and tangent of any angle in a triangle.